pals, welcome to my channel From Skint to Savvy. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing. You know it means the world to me. If you are new here, this is my journey from being skint, living wage to wage, overdrafts, credit cards, not having a clue where my money's going or what I'm spending it on, to being a bit more savvy with my money, being a bit more conscious of what I'm spending it on, and sort of where my finances are at. So I attempted to do this budget for May and realised that my budget was going to be really tight. It wasn't going to put me into any debt. It was just going to make it that my sinking funds really weren't going to get stuffed, and I do have a few that I want to stuff regularly, if at all possible. And coming from a stressful situation where money has been a big issue, I didn't want to put myself into a situation where I was feeling stressed and anxious about money. And yes, I would still be able to save some. It wasn't an issue that I wouldn't be able to save, that I would be really just struggling to pay bills and no more. But I didn't want to be feeling anxious. So what I decided was, I had been doing the 100 envelope savings challenge. I wasn't even a third of the way through it yet. In fact, I wasn't even a fifth of the way through it, because it was less than £1,000 in there. So and I just knew that I wasn't going to have this sort of spare cash at the moment to really focus on it at all. And it's for a house deposit, so I'm not really in a position where I'm going to be buying a house anytime soon anyhow. So I decided to open it, and there's been times I've been putting a little bit more into an envelope. So I actually have £805 sitting here between the coins and the notes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that back into my budget. What I'm hoping is that it will just give me more to roll over into June, which is going to be a 5-week month for me. And my pay is still sort of changing, it's still settling, because my job kind of changed a bit. So I don't know what my wage is going to be from month to month. My sort of salaried wage is going to be from month to month until June, because I was getting paid overtime on like a back payment. So for any work that I did overtime in March, it went on to the pay I got in April. So, you know, I couldn't kind of work out exactly. Anyhow, I'm rambling now, but I won't be in a position sort of till July time to know what my exact wage is going to be moving forward. And I am contemplating moving jobs. I am in a sort of, I'm not on the bottom rung of the ladder with my job, I'm on like the next rung up. So to get another job at that level might not be so easy. But I'll have to take a wee step back down, which is fine, because actually the step back down is doing the stuff that I love to do. It's just obviously not as much financially. But or an option of getting a second job. However, to get a second job is going to be a little harder given the work I do, the hours I'm supposed to do, and all that kind of thing. Without going into explanation of my job and whatever, which I can do in another video, but for now. So yeah, so I just was getting myself, trying to do this budget, get myself a little bit anxious, and I thought, I don't want to undo all the hard work I've done by becoming anxious and then scrapping what I'm doing, because I've said before, I'm an all or nothing kind of girl. I either do it all or I give up and I do nothing. So this was my best way forward. I was really in two minds of opening the envelopes, because obviously I had saved, but I do have my emergency fund, I do have my car maintenance fund. I do also have a house deposit envelope, and I do have my sinking funds that I'm building up towards annual events. So I do still have finances. So I wanted to keep on top of that and not blow it. So we are going to attempt, I've filled out some of it just so that I could use a calculator and kind of do a tally. But yes, I filled out some of it. So I actually got paid on the 27th, so this budget is from next Monday. So I actually got paid on the 27th, and I got paid, and I added it into my budget here just because it came into my bank, and it would allow me to, when I close out this week, it will allow me to reconcile my expense tracker with my bank and everything like that. So I got paid £1,760.69. So I've rolled that over with my expected £52.98 rollover. It may be more, it may be less, but that is what we are expecting. So this budget is just my just like a basic. It might change when we go into it, but you can tell I'm a little bit stressed because I'm kind of faffing over my words, trying to get them out and sorry, I just had a sip of tea, make sense of things. But hopefully when I get to the end of May and the budget has a rollover, I will be able to calm down a little bit. But anyhow, so we are rolling over £1,813.67. The 805 is from savings, so it's going back into my budget. I don't know if used is the right word, but it makes sense to me. But the money has already come out of my budget previously, so it's going back in. So that gives me £2,618.67. Now, as you all know, I live alone, so all my house finances are just on me, on my shoulders. So whilst if my boyfriend and I live together, that would be an amazing amount of money to put in towards a house, because obviously to have his wage too, that isn't a place where I'm at. So literally I have to do everything, and that's fine. So we just have our standard bills. I think they will probably all come out on the 3rd, because obviously Monday's a bank, well, they're due to come out on the 1st, which is Sunday. Monday's a bank holiday, so I'm expecting all these to come out on the 3rd, but I'll just write the date in there when they do come out. I've got my last payment for my budget book for the second book that I've got of this. So that's to come out. So as of June, that payment will no longer be in, so that's fine. Audible is coming out at £7.99, and Aqua is my credit card, and that is £5. And the Elusive mattress is still back in my budget because it hasn't come out yet, and it may, but if it comes out this week, then all it will do is move this payment to the end of May for the next payment. So if I add it in here, then it'll either just follow through the budget and the £66 will still be there, or it'll come out. So, but it's just to make sure that that money is accounted for. I hope that makes sense. Any questions, any queries, please just leave a message in the comment. I am aware I'm anxious, so I'm maybe just not explaining things properly. But anyhow, my bills for the first week of May is going to be £906.59. I have, oh goodness, that money's just going to go everywhere. So I haven't done all the calculations, so we'll do that together. So we have 200, help I switch calculator on, 2618.67, and we are going to minus 906.59. And the aim of this May budget is to have a rollover into June to prepare for the 5-week month that I'll have in June. So we've got £1,712.08 when all my bills come out for the first week. We are then cutting down our groceries down to £5 less, so we're cutting it down to £40, and that was just to stop me from buying unnecessary food, and I'll start to do my list again and just buy what I need. And yeah, I'm going to attempt it. I'm going to budget for it, but it may be that it's over, and hopefully I'll have the money in my budget to allow like a wee bit over, but I do still have obviously my spending miscellaneous to account for any overspends as well. The dog food's still getting 5. I'm taking eating out down to 35. Again, I'll have my spending or miscellaneous to top it up if I do need to pay a little bit more. But the place that we most generally go to, because we generally go to eat out after we've done a food shop, and so the place there, 2 meals and 2 drinks generally comes to be about £30, £32 or something like that. So there should be still a little over to accommodate for that. Diesel is still going to get 65. That doesn't quite fill up my tank at the minute, but it's not far off it. My spending in miscellaneous is getting 5, and thankfully coming into May I still have a lot of money on my electric, so I don't need to worry too much about that. So in total our cash envelopes come to a total of, and obviously if money does get tight and I do struggle, the eating out one can stop and we can just stay at home. We don't have to eat out, we can just come back. I can have something in the slow cooker or something for whenever we come back from shopping. Or it may be that I continue just to do the shop in the middle of the week and we don't go out on a Sunday, so we'll see. It's quite nice in the summer not to have to worry about a food shop in the weekend, because obviously a Sunday is pretty much the only day that the other half doesn't do much on the croft, so we can go out for a drive. We've got some beautiful scenery up where I live, so you know, we can do a Sunday drive instead of, you know, just having to go for our food shop. So the total for my envelopes is £155. I've deducted that and that gives me 1557.08. So we'll follow that up to here, so 1557.08. So I'm going to put £70 into sinking funds for now. I might drop that down to 50 or 60 once we get through, but I've had a look through my sinking funds and there's some that I want to stuff all the time, and there's some that I, you know, could just do with stuffing here and there, so like my nails or like Piper's groom and that kind of thing. So I think £70 will see that, you know, all right. And then I'm going to take £385 from this £805 and put it straight into my car insurance and car tax. So that would be 320 into my car insurance to get that up to 600, and 65 into the car tax to get that up to 200. I think the bills will be slightly under those amounts. I think it'll probably be like 515 maybe for my car insurance, because I had a little look at that the other day as well, and my car tax I think is 180, but it just gives me leeway, and also it gives me a starting block for the envelopes for next year for annually. So that's the plan there. So 70 plus 385 is 455, and what I'll do when I do my weekly check-ins is I will break out my sinking funds on the next page where it you know, where I have that thing there, that sheet, and so you'll know where that £70 is going to get allocated on a weekly basis. So we're going to take that 455 away from the 1557.08, and that leaves us with £1,102.08. So as I've said before, whenever I pay my Aqua card, there's no interest on this card, but I always just double the minimum payment. So the minimum payment's £5 and I just put an extra £5 in. And then once I get to a good place with all my sinking funds, then obviously I'll just clear that. There's only a few hundred on it. It was just like a card that I transferred over to a 0% interest. So we'll take the £5 away from that, which leaves me with 1097.08. So I'm not going to be doing any savings challenges again this month, but what I might do is get a low amount one. I've seen a few people are doing some kind of snazzy ones. So Fuchsia Budgets has one that's like a twist on twister, a take on twister, and Rainbow Budgets has like a spinny thing one, which looks quite cool. And they're low. I think they're all under £20 or something. So I might look into getting something like that, just so that I'm doing a savings challenge and putting money in towards my house deposit. Or I might just move my house deposit into a sinking fund and then not do any savings challenges at all. Not 100% sure on that yet, but we'll wait and see. So I'm rolling over the full £197.08. Obviously the penny challenge will be any change from any of these. So our total savings used. Now I always do my savings used as my rollover, because that is money that is accounted for because I need it for next week. So we'll just quickly go into the rest of the month as well, just so that I know that I've got it all covered and I can be less stressed about things. So our rollover is 1097.08. And remember, if the mattress doesn't come out in this week, it's still accounted for. So even though it's not in there, I can just put it as a 0 and then I add it in, and it won't really change the end amount of my budget. I'm expecting to get paid for my mileage. I've not done much mileage in April because I had a week's holiday and I've not been driving as far. The schools were on holiday as well, so that impacted on my job. So yeah, I don't know what I was doing there. I think I added it the wrong way down, but so that 470 is sort of an approximate amount. It might be more, it might be less, I'm not 100% sure. So that'll give me a potential income for this week. Remember, we want to have a rollover into June of £1,567.08, and we only have one bill coming out this week, which is the 200 club, which is £4. So minus that, which gives us 1563.08. Follow that down, 1563.08. And again, we have the same cash envelopes minus the eating out, because I only stuff that once a fortnight. So we've got 40 plus 5 plus 65 plus 5 and plus 5, which is 120. And obviously, if the groceries are consistently over the £40, I will up my budget back to the 45. But I'm going to give it a try and just try and go with a list and not spend anything, you know, because I was buying like extra biscuits and things I definitely don't need. So that gives us £1,443.08. And we're going to take off the 70. So I think my standard will just be 70 a week for sinking funds, which still gives a good amount per month getting put into savings. I'm not putting any money into extra debt this week. And again, I'm not budgeting for my penny challenge or my savings challenge because I don't have it yet, but I'm not budgeting for my penny challenge yet because I won't know until I've got any money left over for the penny challenge. So we're rolling over £1,373.08. And again, when I do my check-in, I'll put the £70 worth of sinking funds on that page, so you know where it's going before we do our cash stuffing. So our rollover for week 3 is 1373.08. I'm not expecting any other income, but I do want to try and get some of my stuff sold out of, like some clothes and some stuff out the spare room. So who knows, money from that might make an appearance at some point. We have a few bills coming out here. We have car insurance, we've got Netflix, we've got TV license, and we have rent. So Netflix, I had a look today and my bill is going up on the 21st of May to £6.99. If anybody is being charged, I found out today that a lot of the accounts were automatically being put onto like an HD account, which is, I think it's like £15.99 or something, but you actually have an option to have like the basic, the standard, or the HD account, and I think they're £6.99, £10.99 and £15.99. Mine was just set at £6.99 anyway. It didn't need changing, but I think you can change it back down if you want to, if you don't want to pay for the HD. I don't really watch anything in HD, but I don't really watch a lot of telly, so, and I can't get YouTube on my telly, so I don't. Oh goodness, paying a lot for my rent there. 46.88 plus £6.99 plus 13.37 plus 300. So my total bills come to 367. and 24 pence, which I'd already done. I think I did it when I changed the £5.99. So we will take that away from our £1,373.08. And that leaves us with £1,005. So already I'm starting to feel better because it's leaving me in a better position in week 3 than I was. I think originally I had, well, I would have had, I put £800 in, so I was sort of sitting at £200 on this week, which was a bit tight. So yeah, feeling good. So I'm just adding these up. So our total is 155. So we'll take that away from the 1,005. Gives us £850 and 84 pence. And we'll minus the 70, which leaves us with £780 and 84 pence. And again, we are just rolling over that amount. I think, seeing as we're having a bigger amount here, I think I might try and find a challenge that is maybe up to £20. And, you know, even do it once a fortnight or something. Now that I'm feeling I'm going to have some money, but we'll see. We'll see what it's like. Obviously, I'd have to order it, so it wouldn't come before the middle of May anyway. So, 780.84. Not planning any other money, but I am going to use £40 of sinking funds here because it'll be time to get my nails done. I would love it if people would give me suggestions for my next lot of nails. I'm running short on inspo, and I'm feeling I'm probably going to come out with the animal print genre for nails, but we will see. Got a few weeks, we'll be able to find something, I'm sure. So on this one, we'll have my MacBook coming out, which will be my 5th payment, and there's 6 payments to pay of it. So it comes out on the 27th, which will also be the day I get paid. And this is the last week of May, so I want to be able to cover this 178 with this, because if I didn't, I would then have 2 payments in June, because it actually comes out on the 26th of June and I don't get paid till the 27th of June, which is, I think, is a bit sneaky the way they've done it, but I think it's just because they've done it on days rather than day of the month. They've done it like on day 30 you got charged one, day 90 you got charged one, blah blah blah. So then on day, I don't know what it is, but it ends up being a day, when there's 31 days in the month, that day impacts on the date that it comes out. Does that make sense? So yeah, that is where we are at there. £188 in bills to come off of the 820. So leaves us with 632.84. And again, this is the one where we don't have our £35 for our eating out. So leaves us with 120 for our variable envelopes. I mean, obviously, if I was struggling financially, I wouldn't be eating out. I wouldn't have like extra spending money, because, you know, we wouldn't be spending. We'd have no spend days, and I wouldn't be putting into my sinking funds. So I know I'm still in a privileged situation where I can stuff my sinking funds, but the reason for them is so that I'm prepared for life events. So I'm prepared for Christmas, I'm prepared for, yeah, if the dog needs to go to the vet, I'm prepared for like gifts for my nieces and nephews, because in June and July we have a lot of birthdays. I think, well, my brother-in-law's birthday's on the 28th of May, I believe. My sister's on the 2nd of June, then they have 2 children that have got birthdays in June, and then we have Father's Day in June, and I am very sad in the fact that I have no children of my own. My boyfriend does have 2 grown-up children, but obviously I see my dogs as my babies, and I make sure that he gets me something for Mother's Day, because I'm never going to have biological children. So he gets me something for Mother's Day, so I always like to get him something for Father's Day from the dogs, and then obviously I have my own father that I buy for Father's Day. So yeah, June is quite big, and then we have birthdays in July as well, so yeah, it gets quite expensive in the summer months, and then obviously the end of July we will have our holiday. So we're taking 120 away from the 632, which leaves us with £512.84. And then we'll take away our £70 for our sinking funds, which leaves us with, I'm way ahead of myself, £442.84 rolling over. £442.84 rollover for into June for the 5 weeks is, oh dear me. At the start of this video I was anxious about whether my budget would work, and at the end of this video I'm excited to see that I've got a lot more money. But when I first did this budget, what I done was I had £80 in sinking funds, and I had £45 in groceries. I didn't have that extra £800 in my budget. I had it, but I didn't have it in my budget. So I was pretty much finishing this month with absolutely nothing. And that really was just stressing me out, because obviously if I can't do a 4-week month in my budget, there's no chance of me doing a 5-week month next month. So yeah, I feel a lot more, and I would be quite happy to even use, like, you know, £100 of that into savings challenges over this week. You know, maybe £20 or £25 a week into savings challenges, like my house deposit, because that would still leave me with £300, £350 rollover into June, which would more than cover my essential envelopes for that 5th week. So yeah, so feeling much better now. Thank you for all the help on Instagram as to what I should do with my envelopes. It really did help a lot, because I kind of knew what I should do, and I kind of knew that I should look at this money all over. I kind of knew that I should just empty that money, because there was no point to it. It was just sitting in an envelope. It wasn't going to go anywhere. There wasn't sort of much chance of me building on it over the next few months. So yeah, I definitely feel like I've done the right thing and emptying those envelopes. And I still, as I said, I still have my my house deposit. Wrong envelope, wrong one. I should really get something on the binders at the backs to say what they are, but I've still got my house deposit envelope in here, so we've still got £150. I know it's not much for a house deposit, but it's not like a rush to get it done. Anyway, because I want to be able to be in a position first where I'm not scrimping and saving for a birthday or a Christmas, you know. So, but yeah, we're just rambling on now into this video, but thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in our next video. Now you take care, have a good weekend, bye bye.